Welcome to Tape of Times, where we bring vintage, historical, and romantic moments from 1930 to 1980 alive again. Late 1940s lingerie model. A woman adjusts her slip on stage, smiling confidently. Glamour meets everyday practicality. Early 1950s studio photo. A model poses formally in structured lingerie with garters. Elegance designed to sell restraint. 1960s bedroom shoot. Two women in lingerie laugh playfully on a bed. Pin-up charm softened by candid warmth. 1950s boudoir shot. A blonde poses provocatively on a couch. Black lingerie paired with heels. Sultry rebellion in monochrome. Late 1940s pin-up. A young model in bikini laughs while seated. Innocence wrapped in Hollywood's golden glamour dream. Early 1960s evening event. Marilyn Monroe waves elegantly in a satin gown and gloves. Timeless starlight against the night. Early 1960s. Candid. Marilyn lounges barefoot on patio steps, casual yet radiant. Even resting, she embodied effortless glamour. 1962. Beverly Hills home. Monroe sits with a drink, paisley blouse, and heels. Beauty framed by modernist decor and flamingo art. 1962 bathroom mirror shot. Marilyn leans forward barefoot, adjusting makeup. Reflection captures both allure and quiet vulnerability. 1954 charity baseball event. Marilyn jokingly takes a batter's stance in heels. America's pastime meets Hollywood sparkle. 1955 film still. Marilyn Monroe and Tom Ewell in The 7-Year Itch. Polka dot dress stealing every scene. Early 1950s beach shoot. Marilyn playfully hides beneath a striped parasol in a swimsuit. Shadow and sunshine flirt together. 1940s seaside photo. Young Marilyn proudly holds up a fish on the beach. Innocence meets pin-up beginnings. Late 1940s candid. Marilyn in shorts and bralette walks down a wooded path. Natural beauty glowing before stardom. 1950s dressing room. Monroe in plaid pants. Towel draped, glances back. Domesticity made glamorous by sheer presence. 1960s candid in bed. Marilyn reads a script while snacking on carrots and grapes. Intellect and sensuality intertwined. 1962 patio portrait. Barefoot Marilyn sits on steps in casual wear. Vulnerability and charm captured in striking simplicity. Modern glamour shot. A woman in lace bodysuit adjusts her hair in a marble bathroom. Elegance meets reflection. 1960s. Riviera candid. Brigitte Bardot in a black bikini aboard a yacht. Effortless allure, Mediterranean sunshine, and whispers of freedom. 1950s beach photo. Blonde pin-up poses topless with striped umbrella and shorts. Playful innocence mingles with bold sensuality. 1950s pin-up riverside. Betty Page poses playfully in a lace bikini. Wide-eyed. Innocence cheekily laced with mischief. 1960s European cinema set. Actress in corset smiles mid-performance. Bouffant hair and period costume channel elegance with theatrical flair. 1950s studio glamour. A star reclines draped in sheer robe, gazing away dramatically. Allure wrapped in classic Hollywood shadows. 1960s Riviera candid. Catherine Deneuve in white bikini on the beach. Understated chic, sunshine, and effortless French sophistication. 1950s beach photo. A glamorous woman in bikini poses playfully on rocks with a mirror. Vintage selfie vibes. 1950s candid. A blonde woman in a black swimsuit steps from a beachside shower. Effortless glamour meets simplicity. 1960s Riviera snapshot. A blonde woman in bikini strolls poolside beside a man in white. Jet set, glamour eternal. 1970s street scene. A casually dressed couple walks arm in arm through a crowd. Effortless bohemian glamour on display. 1970s poolside. Jane Birkin and Serge Gainsbourg share a tender moment in France. Carefree love. Summer forever captured. Late 1960s, George Harrison stands between two women in bikinis during a beach outing. Rock stardom meets seaside ease. Late 1960s, Ringo Starr entertains children with a puppet while friends laugh nearby. Even Beatles enjoyed playful afternoons. Early 1970s, John Lennon and Yoko Ono walk hand in hand in New York. Rebellion looked fashionable together. 1970s holiday snapshot. Paul and Linda McCartney relax at a tropical resort. Casual paradise with a touch of rock and roll. 1969. London, Paul McCartney marries Linda Eastman at Marylebone Registry Office. Love sealed. Laughter shared. History quietly made. 1950s beauty salon. A woman under a dryer reads, "Doctors East, Doctors West." Glamour always had patience for knowledge. 1960s candid. A young woman in bikini enjoys coffee while chatting with a man in lab coat. Everyday life looked cinematic. 1950s outdoor shoot. Betty Page in a playful bikini pose on a rock. Her surprised expression made pin-up art iconic. 1950s Hollywood studio still. Jane Mansfield in a lace gown exudes allure. Glamour and provocation were her trademarks. 1960s seaside moment. A young couple embraces barefoot by beach cabins. His kiss and her smile capture carefree love. 1970s summer stroll. A stylish couple walk hand in hand through a Mediterranean street. Their matching hats scream effortless holiday chic. 1960s beach scene. A young woman in a bikini is fined by an officer for indecent exposure. Times changed fast. 1950s snapshot. A carefree young woman leaps barefoot down garden steps. Her flying dress captures pure joy in motion. 1950s. Hollywood glamour. A stylish woman in heels walks her poodle by the Capitol Records building. Iconic. 1950s seaside snapshot. Three young women pose in vintage swimsuits on a wooden deck. Carefree summer charm endures. 1960s beach town stroll. Two women in bikinis and beehive hairwalk casually past vintage shop signs. Summer 1958. Budapest. A young woman in a polka dot bikini poses by the pool as boys admire her. Two young women in the late 1960s stroll the city streets, one in a white mini dress, the other enjoying ice cream in a floral shift dress. Three stylish women of the mid-1960s pose confidently in chic suits and a belted dress. Three flight attendants in futuristic 1960s uniforms pose by a jet, wearing matching mini dresses, white boots, and chic hats. Late 1960s, England. A smiling young woman in white boots poses with her learner's car. Style meets driving lessons. 1940s. Atlantic City. A stylish young woman poses confidently on the beach. Grace, glamour. 1950s glamour shot. A blonde model in a striped bikini poses with a beach ball. Hollywood's version of seaside fun. 1960s. French Riviera. A chic young woman relaxes by a Monaco milestone. Glamour, sun, and effortless European cool. 1950s airport scene. A stylish woman checks in at Eastern Airlines counter when flying was still glamorous travel. 1970s airplane interior. A glamorous flight attendant in hot pants serves passengers. Flying felt more like a nightclub then. 1950s America. A stylish woman in heels pumps gas into her convertible, back when refueling looked glamorous. Late 1950s. America. A young couple stands by a hot rod's open engine. Romance and horsepower often went hand in hand. 1940s. America. Three cheerful young women wave their hats while sitting on a fence. Summer spirit captured in playful cowboy style. 1950s. America. A cheerful line of young women wave while standing on railroad tracks, looking like they're waiting for adventure. Late 1940s picnic scene. Two smiling young women enjoy Coca-Cola and hot dogs outdoors. Classic American joy bottled in time. Early 1950s kitchen moment. Two young women in aprons prepare dessert, one tasting batter, the other holding milk. Homely charm. Early 1900s riverside scene. Well-dressed passengers disembark a crowded steamboat, women in long gowns, men in hats. Travel felt elegant. 1920s street snapshot. A stylish woman in a cloche hat buys a paper from a bus driver. Fashion met routine. Late 1930s black and white portrait of a young actress in London, dressed in costume. Elegance mixed with quiet mischief. Early 1950s studio portrait of a glamorous Hollywood actress striking a confident pose. Beauty and defiance perfectly captured together. Mid-1960s black and white photo of a blonde model in a polka dot bikini, posing outdoors. Playful charm meets classic glamour. Late 1940s, Hollywood candid showing a couple in a cozy room. Love, silk robes, and a rotary phone nearby. Early 1950s. Hollywood poolside photo of a glamorous couple in robes. Luxury, romance, and morning cocktails beneath palm trees. Late 1940s snapshot of a young couple passionately kissing in a parked car at a drive-in. Popcorn forgotten. Late 1940s street scene. A young woman with curled hair poses beside a smiling mother and baby. Early 1960s airport. Marilyn Monroe steps out stylishly at the Yankee Clipper Hotel, exuding effortless Hollywood glamour. Early 1950s radio studio photo. A young Marilyn Monroe smiles beside a DJ smoking a pipe. Fame quietly brewing. 1954. Korea. Marilyn Monroe poses cheerfully with a U.S. officer beside a helicopter. Hollywood meets wartime morale tour. Late 1950s. Hollywood photo. Marilyn Monroe leans over a suited man on a sofa, sharing a kiss. Passion meets glamour. Late 1950s candid. Marilyn Monroe lounges in lingerie on a train bunk, cigarette in hand, as a man whispers. 1959 set photo from Some Like It Hot. Marilyn Monroe playfully teases Tony Curtis, elegance and comedy blending in perfect harmony. Early 1960s, candid of Marilyn Monroe in a fitted dress, smiling warmly while seated. Beauty, charm, and fragility in one. Thank you for watching Tape of Times, your journey through 1930 to 1980's most beautiful moments. Subscribe for timeless stories every week.